start. 1, 2, ready.
What's going on YouTube tonight? Welcome to Lords of the Long Box and another hot scoop coming right at you. Look at that, the sun is still out. I actually have natural sunlight coming in. Shout out to everybody in the live chat for joining on a Friday early evening. I know it's always tough for this time of day. People are stuck in their commute or doing Friday night things. So I appreciate all of you joining us for this breaking scoop. This is the second one this week. Mikey Sutton promised me that there's even going to be a bigger one next week. We're going to start doing these for those who have been longtime fans of the channel, followers. We used to have scoops like once every week, every 2 weeks with our man Mikey Sutton and the Black Knight. Sadly, the Black Knight is no longer in the business of doing things. Although, here's a freebie for you. I spoke to him a couple days. And he had gotten from a good inside source that this has nothing to do with Mikey Sutton stuff, but the rumors of the Venom 2 trailer dropping at the Super Bowl are not happening. I was told by a source inside, I don't want to say where it came from, but the Venom 2 trailer is not going to be dropping at the Super Bowl and not anytime soon. So there you go. That's scoop number one. Kind of a negative scoop, but it's still a scoop. So thank you guys all for joining us. Let me pull up my notes and thank you guys all for congregating. For those watching on the Rewind Yes, there was a 3-minute intro because this channel was built on comic books and beats, and we like to get down with the music because the live chat is like a party. For those who watch on the rewind who never actually are in the live chat, you need to try to join the live chat if possible. It's a great time. Fellow-minded comic book collectors in the live chat all talking amongst each other, throwing ideas around. It's a great time. It's a party. That's why I do these long intros, to give time to people to congregate. Can I hear it from the congregation? Shout out to all y'all. Big Remo, what's going on, my friend? Hawaiian Punch. Matthew Rabin is the one that asked for the Doobie Brothers long train running remix there by DJ Scratch Bastard, DJ Chris Carnes. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. It's growing and growing. My man Mikey Sutton is in the house. Mikey is the one that gave us this scoop, so I will probably read it twice. Kid Collector asks, when is that Venom trailer going to drop? Well, we don't know. All I know is it's going to be a while. What's interesting is there's a lot of people that pulled out of the Super Bowl this year. I don't know why. Maybe because overall sales are down and the amount of money they're asking for Super Bowl ads. Bud is not going to have, Budweiser for the first time in years is not going to have a Super Bowl spot. So we shall see. I would say by this weekend, you should start seeing ads start to leak for the Super Bowl. And I don't know, maybe we'll see a Falcon Winter Soldier or something along those lines. Maybe a Snyder Cut trailer. I don't know yet. I'm just speculating, but this is the time of year, believe it or not. So it'd be interesting how the Super Bowl comes. Yeah, Coke is out too. Thank you, JLS Comics. All right, so let's get right to it, boys and girls. This is a scoop that I got from my man Mikey Sutton, and you know what? We're keeping it devilish, man. Did I say that right? That's right. Go over to my Instagram and see how many people I follow, and then you'll know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So before we get started, you know what we like to do on here, boys and girls, right? Whenever we have big news story, what do? Say it in the live chat with me, boys and girls.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball!
Oh, yes. You know what? I'm just like Ron Burgundy. All I want to do is read news having salon quality hair. I do believe that was what he said, but this is coming from a man, Mikey Sutton from This is a Geekosity Mag exclusive. This will be up on the geekositymag.com website in about 30 minutes. But you get to hear it first here on the Lord. So if there's any books you're specking on, go out and get it before it hits the website. Either way, make sure you hit up the website, geekositymag.com. He's dropping articles every day. Again, thousands and thousands of hits, doing a great job. All kudos and congratulations to you, Mikey. It's been a long and trippy trip. Trippy trip? Anyway, this is from my man, Mikey Sutton. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to read this verbatim. Hellstrom may have died on Hulu, but Marvel Studios still has plans for the horror superhero. The Hellstrom TV series only lasted a season on Hulu before the plug was pulled. Once meant to be a gateway into a group of Hulu interconnected horror programs that included Ghost Rider Hellstrom's future was doomed. I mean, pretty much when they came out with that first season, they said this is the first and only season. With the departure of Jeff Loeb, I mean, we kind of all knew that was going to be the only season of Hellstrom. I mean, it wasn't awful. It was different, but I would say it was one of the better Hulu shows. When Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige took command of their television properties, Hellstrom fell to the axe. It was canceled on December 14, 2020. The show wasn't even on for a month when it received the pink slip. According to insiders, while there has been no discussions about reviving or rebooting the Hellstrom series, the character Damon Helstrom is another matter. With the impending arrival of the devil himself, Mephisto, in the MCU, Feige wants to bring more supernatural characters from the shadows. From the shadows. I should have said it like that the first time. With the goal in mind of exploring MCU's darker corners, Hellstrom will be tweaked to be the son of Mephisto. After all, Mephisto is Marvel's version of Satan, and in the comic books, Hellstrom is nicknamed the son of Satan. Created by writer Roy Thomas and artist Gary Friedrich in Ghost Rider Marvel Spotlight in 1973, there was no doubt, All right, let me read this again. Created by Roy Thomas and artist Gary Friedrich in Ghost Rider #1 in 1973, there is no doubt Hellstrom would face the freakish biker in the MCU. I'm sorry. As I started reading this, I'm like, wait a second. That's not Ghost Rider's first appearance. No, we're talking about Son of Satan's first appearance. From what I've been told, Marvel Studio wants a Hellstrom that is more comic accurate. Now that would be cool. The Hellstrom on Hulu came across like a pale version of DC's John Constantine. Hellstrom star Tom Austin will be recast. Feige wants a fresh coat of paint on the property. It's not known when or where Hellstrom would reappear under Feige's creative guidance. Mephisto will make his debut first, possibly on WandaVision, and Hellstrom is going to follow. So for those who watched episode 4 of WandaVision, things are starting to come. Oh, I forgot to pop my collar because I'm the Sorcerer Supreme. If you watch, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I mean, there is some more interesting things on where they're going. Obviously, they teased don't want to have headphones on, man. I don't need no headphones. Obviously, they teased WandaVision. I don't want to give away too much spoilers, but basically, there's something keeping WandaVision there. Is it Wanda herself, or is there another force at play? So if you haven't seen the 4th episode of WandaVision, it's really good. It finally kind of shows different things. This is a bit of a spoiler, and I don't know if anybody else got this. This is the first time on WandaVision we saw somebody get unblipped. We've never saw that on screen before. Somebody literally saw them getting unblipped, and I'll leave it at that. But so yeah, we don't know when Mephisto is coming, but we do know he's coming. From the scoops that we've done in the past with Mikey, Sutton, and Black Knight, we know that there is going to be a Mephisto presence upcoming rather largely in the MCU. Mephisto is going to be bringing about the Marvel zombies. We know that from our insiders. And what was cool is there was a little nod to that, just a little bit, when there's a really quick scene of Vision that kind of really caught people by a little surprise, a little bit of shock that they showed that, but I don't want to give it too much away since it's literally on today. I saw it at midnight last night. But it's very interesting. The Son of Satan is kind of interesting. The character himself, as in the comics, has evolved just as the character Satan has evolved. I mean, eventually Mephisto is the ruler of hell. He's considered a demon as opposed to Satan, but for all intents and purposes, he is the devil in the MCU. Nobody, just like they don't have God in the MCU, but they just call him the one above all. Just like, they don't really have a Satan, but they do have, Donny Cates. No, I'm just kidding. No, they do have Damon Helstrom. I watched the entire Hellstrom series on Hulu. I did not think it was awful. I think it was dark. I think the actress that played Satana, Anna, his sister, I think she was the best part of the entire show, to be honest with you. So hopefully they bring back Satana too. A more accurate Satana would be badass. But I mean, you kind of saw Damon Helstrom and his kind of weird chest emblem, which is actually a pentagram in the comics. They just kind of did it as this weird scar that his father did, and his father was maybe a lesser demon. Put it this way, all roads of demons lead to Mephisto. If so, I think, Son of Satan could definitely fit into this darker supernatural world of the MCU that they're planning on Hulu going forward and possibly Disney Plus. It's still in the air where things are going to end up being on Hulu or Disney Plus. If Disney Plus does indeed take Hulu and put it under the Disney umbrella or the Disney Plus umbrella, because then they can get that Disney Plus money. That they need that Disney Plus money so they have bigger budget shows. I mean, if you look at episode 4 of WandaVision, holy cow! All of a sudden the budget looked a lot bigger. I mean, you had giant sets, tons of actors, extras. I mean, it looked a lot. All of a sudden, it looked like a motion picture. All right, so let me get one more, and then I'll read it one more since you guys are just joining us. There's like another 40 who have joined, 106 of you. Appreciate you guys as always joining. Make sure if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We are about 80 subs away from 6,000. When we hit 6,000 subs, we're going to be doing a cool giveaway. So hopefully you guys can partake in that. Why is my video so blurry? This looks awful. Anyway, all right, I'm going to read it one more time, boys and girls. So here we go. This is coming from a man, Mikey Sutton, and GeekosityMag.com, a Lords of the Long Box exclusive. Hellstrom may have died on Hulu, but Marvel Studios still has plans for the horror superhero. The Hellstrom TV series only lasted a season on Hulu before the plug was pulled. Once meant to be a gateway into the group of Hulu interconnected horror programs that included Ghost Rider, Hellstrom's future was doomed. So this was Jeff Loeb's final show and Jeff Loeb's original plan, where he wanted to remember Blade was supposed to be a Hulu show before Mahershala Ali was called up Kevin Feige and said, yo, I want to do a Blade movie. And that was the beginning of the end. They pulled Robbie Reyes. Ghost Rider was supposed to also be in the Hulu plan of horror movies. That's why that Elsa Bloodstone book is popping, because Bloodstone was also supposed to be planned as part of these whole characters. Jennifer Kale. All this was planned for the Marvel superhero or horror supernatural line that they were going to do for Hulu. And I guess it's a blessing in disguise to cancel it all and, put it under Feige so he can run it, put the money behind it that it deserves. Because anything horror supernatural, it needs to be proper special effects, proper camera, lighting, sets, everything. That's at least my opinion. All right, let me continue. When Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige took command of their television properties, Hellstrom fell to the axe. It was canceled on December 14, 2020. The show wasn't even on for a month when it received the pink slip. According to insiders, while there's been no discussions about reviving or rebooting the series, the character Damon Helstrom is another matter. With the pending arrival of the devil himself, Mephisto, in the MCU, Feige wants to bring more supernatural characters from the shadows, with the goal in mind of exploring the MCU's darker corners. Hellstrom will be tweaked to be the son of Mephisto. After all, Mephisto is Marvel's version of Satan, and in the comic books, Hellstrom is nicknamed the Son of Satan. Created by writer Roy Thomas and artist Gary Friedrich in Ghost Rider #1 in 1973, there is no doubt Hellstrom would face the freakish biker in the MCU. How badass would that be? See Hellstrom versus Ghost Rider. From what I've been told, Marvel Studio wants a Hellstrom that is more comic accurate. The Hellstrom on Hulu came across like a pale version of DC's John Constantine. Hellstrom star Tom Austin will also be recast. Feige wants a fresh coat of paint with the property. It's not known when or where Hellstrom would reappear under Feige's creative guidance. Mephisto will make his debut first, possibly on WandaVision, what Hellstrom is going to follow. And if you've been watching this channel, you know we've also been talking about the Midnight Suns. Multiple iterations of the Midnight Suns. One of them also includes Damon Helstrom, Blade. I think at one point Moon Knight was on there. Ghost Rider's definitely on there, and some other characters. So that's why you could all, just as we always say on this show, read the tea leaves on where they're going, and eventually I think you're going to see the Midnight Suns, man. So appreciate all 100 of you watching on a Friday. Hey, man, thank you, Chad Crow, for the $3 super chat or the super sticker. Yes, JLS Comics, great point. The actual code name they had given their supernatural horror line on Hulu was called Adventure into Fear. Obviously, there was a comic called Adventure into Fear, which featured Man-Thing. Also, the first appearance of Howard the Duck appears in Adventure into Fear. So, too bad it wouldn't mean it. Yeah, so I don't know, if this could appear on Disney Plus. Simply where they want to go with it. I don't know if that's a possibility, with how dark it would be. I mean, I would hate to say, you get a watered down version of scary stuff. I mean, there have been PG-13 movies that have been scary. What comes to mind is Drag Me to Hell and Poltergeist, both rated PG-13, believe it or not. Drag Me to Hell is one of my favorite films, but the Hulu stuff is pretty dark, though. If you watch Hellstrom, it's pretty gnarly and violent. So would it still remain that same? But you could still go supernatural and do more of the cosmic. How Marvel explains supernatural things and deities is they're just other beings from different universes or cosmic. I mean, Thor is basically an alien. Last night during WandaVision, I don't want to give away too much, but at one point, the Monica Rambeau characters are, one of the characters says, whatever that thing is covering it is cosmic infused. Wherever that comes from, I don't know. Could that be from WandaVision, or is Mephisto a being from another realm or universe that maybe one could call hell. Hell is everybody's is different to everybody. One man's hell is his own hell. It could be a hell for somebody else. What one considers hell is different. I mean, there's a lot of really dark things inside WandaVision and the Easter eggs. There's 666 symbology. The hexagon, I'm not so sure is because it's 6-sided. I don't think the hexagon has anything to do with Mephisto. I think it has more to do with WandaVision, or excuse me, Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch in the comics, her powers were first referred to as hex magic. For those who've been reading the comics for a long time, eventually it changed, and they never called it hex magic. So maybe it could be that. Or it could be other things, but there's a lot of cool Easter eggs. I can't wait till next week and where they're going with the supernatural stuff. So appreciate you guys all for joining us on impromptu Friday afternoon. I know Friday evening, actually, for a lot of you, it's almost 8 o'clock. So I'm glad there's just 100 of you watching it now because, it's Friday night. Go out and do some stuff. Until next time, boys and girls, we will see you Tuesday for the Cover Price Top 10. Till then, keep digging in them long boxes and have a great, fantastic weekend. Peace out.
Now let's do this!
Rewind, select and come again. Pull up that from the top to the very last. Jump.
Who are you to make their lives bitter in hard bondage? In this you shall know that the Lord is faith. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do it! We're here! We're back! Word up! Get to the job! You can't get fresher than this!
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 5 greatest heroes. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
When it comes, I won't even notice.